Why is it when I film people decide to be noisy outside? Please try to ignore that. I've already moisturized my face with the Clean and Clear Dual Action Moisturizer. I always use this during the daytime because it's moisturizing, but it doesn't like leave your skin looking oily or anything. So after you put it on, you can just go on with your day as usual. I'm not going to go into depth about the face products that I'm going to be using because my face products do tend to change from time to time. But this video is going to focus on the technique I use when I'm contouring. So for my face, I'm going to go ahead and use primer. The primers I'm going to be using are the NYX Angel Veil Skin Perfecting Primer, and then I'm also going to be using the e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer. I don't really know how to feel about this just yet. I'm still trying it out, so that's what I'm going to be using. Now that I have my primer down, by the way, I've never tried using both of these primers at the same time on my face, so let's hope this does not go wrong. For foundation, I'm going to be using my beloved Fit Me Luminous and Smooth Foundation. I'm in the shade 120. And then for concealer, I'm going to be using my Too Faced Born This Way concealer. By the way, sometimes I'll use makeup brushes to blend in my foundation, or I'll use a sponge. The makeup brushes I like to use are, one, the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, and then I also like to use this brush, but it's non-branded, so I'm really sorry about that. But it is so good for blending in your foundation. And then this is just the basic beauty blender. For today, I want to use my Real Techniques Expert Face Brush to blend in my foundation. By the way, for concealer, I'm in the shade Light, but I heard that Too Faced released a bunch of new shades for their whole Born This Way line, so once this runs out, I'm gonna go see if the new collection has a better shade for me, because this is slightly too light, but still works. I'm blending in my concealer using my beauty blender. Okay, so now that my base is down, we can finally start with our cream contouring. Just saying, if you're gonna cream contour, do not set your face. You need to cream contour and then set your face, or else you're most likely gonna end up looking cakey. So for cream contour, there are two different products that I use. The first one is the Sleek Makeup Cream Contour Kit in the shade Light. This comes with 6 different cream shades and a very good mirror. Can you see me? No, those are my brushes. There we go. It comes with 3 highlight shades, which, to be honest, I do not use much. And then it comes with 3 contour shades. And the other product that I use is this NYX Wonderstick. I've heard people speak great things about this and people who don't really like this. It comes with 2 sides, a highlight and a contour. The one that I have is light to medium, and this is honestly perfect for me. I really like to use this, especially when I'm like on the go. But usually when I'm cream contouring, I really like to use the palette instead because it's just more versatile and I can control the shades that I'm using a lot better. So for today's video, this is what I'm going to be using instead of the stick. But when I do want to highlight, I will most likely use the stick highlights instead of these highlights, simply because it's just a lot creamier and less drying, so that's what I use. To apply the contour shades on my face, I like to use the Real Techniques pointed foundation brush, so that's what I'm going to be using today. I'm sorry if this gets kind of confusing because this palette does not have shade names. It said it has numbers and it's not very clear. No, I think this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. To start off, I used the shade 5 and I just picked it up. As you can see, I really like this shade because I have hit pan on this. The technique I use to place my contour is I imagine an imaginary line. It goes from the top of my ear to my lips, and I'll just draw that. I like to use this color or shade first just to make sure I'm getting everything right, and then I'm just gonna place this like at my temples, I think it's called. Once I know where I want my contour line to be, I just take the darker shade, which is the shade 6, and then I just place that on the areas that I want to look contoured. I'll put that on my cheeks, and then I'll also put it slightly on my forehead because I do have a big forehead, but if you have a small forehead, there's honestly no need in contouring it. And then I take the shade 5 again and I just do the top of my forehead. I don't like to go too dark on this area. When selecting your contour shade, be very careful. You don't want the shade that you're using to look muddy on your skin, because instead you'll look muddy, not contoured. So that's what you kind of want to go for. If you want to lighten up this shade a little bit, I don't feel like I need to, but just mix it in with the shade 4 and you'll be good to go. For my chin, I don't like to contour it just because I feel like it doesn't need to be contoured. But for my nose, I don't like to both cream and powder contour it at the same time. I'll either cream contour it or powder contour it. For today, I'm going to be doing the powder. To blend this in, I'm going to be spraying my beauty blender with the Tarte Ready Set Radiant Makeup Setting Spray. I can't give a full-on review about this because I have tried this a lot so far, but I'm not sure yet how I feel about it. And I'm just gonna blend this. When you're blending in your contour, you want to blend upwards, not down, because if you're gonna be blending downwards, you're gonna look muddy, not contoured. I completely forgot, but between, like, in this area of my face to contour, I blend in the shade 6 with the shade 4. Yeah, I blend it in with the shade 4, and I take a little bit more of the 4, and I'll just do this side because I don't want this area to look too contoured, but I want something there. Okay, I'm going to slightly cream contour my nose just for this video, just to show you guys how I sort of do it. When cream contouring my nose, I do not use the stick palette, I just go for the NYX. What I do is I'll apply this on the sides of my nose, and then when it comes to this area, I have a sort of like a Smurf nose. Like, I have like a circular nose at the tip. So what I do is I'll just do this on the sides. I'm not gonna go heavy-handed on this today, simply because I'm gonna powder contour my nose as well. I will not contour my nose all around like this. Like, I'm not drawing a U. There's a gap here. I just find that this way looks best on my nose shape and a bunch of different nose shapes too. Just saying, the NYX Wonderstick is a lot creamier and easier to blend than the Sleek palette. Okay, usually when my hair's down, I will not do this to my chin, but I'm gonna do it today. I'm just gonna take the leftover on my brush and I'm gonna just place that on my chin area. Okay, now that I've done that, it is time to set my face. To set my under eyes, I always use the RCMA No Color Powder. I'm also gonna place this around my nose. This is the only powder that I can use in this area that won't make me look cakey, so I like to put this on before I go in with any different powder. I'm also going to place this slightly on my chin and a tiny bit on my forehead, because I do tend to get cakey in this area right here. Honestly, using this powder really helps me avoid looking cakey in those areas. To set the rest of my face, I am using the Maybelline Fit Me Matte and Poreless powder in the shade 115 Ivory. I really like this powder, and although it says matte, and I really hate matte products because most of them make my skin look really dry, this one does not make my skin look dry. I also like to go over the places where I've applied the RCMA No Color Powder to sort of avoid flashback. This always works for me. When I go for cream contour, I usually just want a very subtle contoured look, nothing too crazy. Just saying, I don't really cream contour much because I'm more of a powder contour type of girl. Now moving on to the powder contour. So I always powder contour after setting my face, or else I end up looking muddy, and it's very easy to end up looking muddy when contouring, so be careful. There are a bunch of bronzers and contour powders that I use, but when I want an actual contoured look, I will either go for my Anastasia Beverly Hills contour kit. I have the shade light to medium, or my Hoola bronzer. I really like my Hoola bronzer because it has a cool toned undertone. It does not look very warm toned, so it's really good to contour with. As for the Anastasia contour kit, when I'm more tan, I tend to mix in these two shades or these two shades and use that. But when I'm this color, like right now, but usually I'll just go for the shade Fawn. When contouring, I'll just take a bronzing brush like this one. This is from Soap & Glory's Dirty Works brush collection, I believe. And I'll just like place this on the area where I want to be contoured on my forehead. And then I never powder contour my chin, but I feel like with my hair looking like this, I look really weird. To blend in the powder contour, I like to use a buffing brush. I know most people just will use one brush and they're good to go, but I really like to blend my contour out with this brush. When blending in, I will use circular motions, and I'll use it upwards, not downwards, or else I'll look muddy. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I feel like also when you're using a buffing brush, you'll get much more natural results, so I like to do that. Oh, by the way, I forgot to say that for today's video, I am using the shade Fawn from the contour kit, but you can use whatever contour powder you like. When contouring my nose, I will always use the shade Fawn or the Hoola bronzer. I will never use any other powder, not even these two, even when I'm tan. I have to zoom you guys in. So I'll place this very lightly on the side of my nose, and then I'll create this thing right here. And then I'll do that again here. Basically, I create an L here, and then I'm gonna create like an upside down L mirroring this one over here, but it's shorter. To blend out my nose contour, I'll just go in with this Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush, which basically looks like the buffing brush, but it's smaller and it's for your eyes. So I'll just use that, and I'll use circular motions to blend in the contour by the bridge of my nose. So this is how I contour. I'll be right back. To finish off this look, I'm going to be spraying the Tarte Ready Set Radiant Skin Mist on my face, just to set it. Alright guys, so this is the finished look. I just added a little bit of blush and highlight and then some other stuff on my face. So that is it for today's video. I really hope you guys enjoyed it or found it helpful somehow. If you did, then please do give this video a thumbs up and subscribe for more videos every week. I hope you have a great day and keep smiling. Bye!